This is the most amazing thing about Title IX in Birch Bayh. Edith Green and Patsy Mink, who were involved in the House, they were members of the House Education and Labor Committee. Birch Bayh was not a member of the Senate Education and Labor Committee. That bill was reported, the Education Amendments Bill of 1972 was reported to the floor without anything. He offered it as an amendment in 1971, Title IX. Senator Strom Thurmond, who was also on the Judiciary Committee, who was not a fan then of equal rights, offered a parliamentary motion to say that our version of Title IX was not relevant to the higher education bill because there was nothing about sex in that bill. And the strangest thing was that bill, which dealt with the Pell Grants for the first time to give student loans and was consumed with issues about busing more than anything else, was subject to a closed rule on the Senate floor, which meant that any amendment had to be germane to the text of the bill. Now, in the Senate, without that, you could do whatever you wanted to do at any time. But because this had peculiarly at that time had a closed rule, Thurmond thought to figure out how to get it a parliamentary maneuver, not to have to consider Title IX. And it was ruled non-germane. In any event, on the House side, Edith Green got bottled up because there were amendments offered to her amendment that would have precluded having anything doing with equality, dealing with admissions to any undergraduate institution. So and then the busing stuff just was politically consuming. So the bill moved over to 1972. 1972, the Senate reported out another higher education bill. And of course, it didn't have anything to do with equality. So we had to go back. This time it was under an open rule. And we got it done. So I'll tell you what he said in 2017. I knew the need for it, but I could not have anticipated how wonderfully it would have turned out. My thoughts were about gender equality in education and in academics. I knew that women were routinely refused admissions to colleges and in many academic disciplines and received almost no scholarships. I had no idea what it would mean for girls and women in sports. But then he said, at the end of his life, it's the most important thing he ever did. And he did a lot of important things.